I'm off to explore Sri Lanka's east coast, and my first stop is Arugam Bay. This place is best known for its world-class surf breaks and stunning beaches. But I'm more interested in what you find behind the beach. Now I'm in the eastern tip of Yala National Park looking for bush food. So we're going to head in there, hopefully not bump into any elephants, and see what I can find. I'm catching up with Samita from the Second Partner Conservation Group, and he's bringing with him Apu Hami, a village elder who knows Sri Lankan bush tucker better than anyone around here. The lotus plant is incredibly nutritious and tastes wonderful. Right now, just after the monsoon, is the best time to harvest. This is the fruit. The fruit of a lotus. Hey. Is this the seed?
Yes, these are the seeds.
It's beautiful. It's kind of like rice.
Exactly.
I've had lotus seed before in drinks in Chinatown, but this is all new to me. Now, all the roots down here are just, it's a mass of roots, but what we're looking for is the yam at the bottom of it. So we've got the root. That's the roots there, yeah. Well, you've got to do a lot of work to get a big curry.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of us I'm going to try and feed today, but I'm going to have to do a fair bit more. So that's it there. We cut that off, and then we'll clean it up and take it. So that's it for the lakes. Now for the jungle. Potatoes in the sky. These things are hanging off this vine, which is being supported by a tree. It's not affecting the tree at all.
No.
And then it drops these things, and then you know that the yam's ready to pick. Like, whoa. And the yam is actually under the ground. So this is a secondary product, which apparently is very good to eat as well. Comes. Whoa. Wow. That was worth the wait. And we picked up some bitter gourd. Problem is, this vegetable is so bitter. I'll see what I can do. I'm going to cook food today from the jungle. I'm doing a bitter gourd curry, some yams that we found, and also lotus root and fruit curry. We'll start off with the bitter gourd because it takes a bit of preparation. But what you have to do first is just chop the ends off. There's a seed in them. Those seeds can come out because they are super duper bitter. And then slice it really thin. And I'll have some water here with a fair bit of salt and a spoonful of turmeric. The soaking in the salt sort of drags out a lot of that bitterness as well. So I'm just going to leave that as long as possible. Next, I'll do the yam. I'm cutting them into about 2 centimetre pieces, and I'm going to boil them. going to season it with some salt. And my third curry is going to be lotus root. The silt and the mud in the lily pond has just stained my hands. Solid in the center. And that basically tells me I should be slicing these quite thin. So to that, I'm going to add some fenugreek seeds, just a few, salt, some turmeric, chili powder, green chili, and some tomato. And then coconut. And this coconut is the second extract. So with the lid on, I'm just going to let this really cook within itself and get all the spices in there. So next, I'm going to prepare the next curry. Putting some ghee into it. Mustard seeds into my chatty, and immediately they've just crackled and popped. Once they start spitting at you, you know it's time to add the rest of the stuff. And that will be the onion and the garlic. Time to add my curry leaves and chili. A little bit of turmeric, but I'm not going to put too much because the other curry is quite yellow. A little bit of chili, as I said, I'm going to make the lotus root the hot one, and some roasted, dark roasted curry powder. And 1 little spoonful of cumin powder. Smells good already. Get those spices roasted and fried. This lotus fruit, I'm just going to put the seeds into it. It might thicken it, who knows. They're great, but it's certainly going to make it look cool. The lid on that. And now I can start to deal with my bitter gourd. All I have to do, just squeeze them. You can be quite rough because the salt has softened them and made them pliable. And the last stage in here is to add the coconut cream. To reduce the bitterness even more, I'm going to give it a good squeeze of lime. Here's the taste test. It's juicy, it's got a crunch to it, and slowly that bitterness starts to arrive. But you know what? It needs more salt. And to serve this up, I picked a few lotus leaves as well. My yams, which are now fluffy. It's a really good country-style dish, this one. Lotus root. With a little bit of sauce, it's thickened up quite well. And then my bitter gourd. I also will serve it with some fresh coconut. This is a pretty good, complete dish. Bitter gourd and lotus root, fruit curry, and this wonderful native yam with fresh coconut. I'm heading up the coast from Arugam Bay to Batticaloa. What's exciting is that only last year this journey would have been considered too dangerous because of the war. The war has kept visitors and business investment away from Batticaloa. But it also kept the developers away from this pristine coast. And that's a good thing. I'm here with Suba, who's showing me around these beautiful mangroves in Batticaloa. Untouched, Absolutely stunning. We sort of come off the main road and then into this, which is wonderful. The mangroves are a nursery for marine life. So healthy mangroves means healthy seafood industry, which means happy chefs.
This one prawn eggs.
Prawn eggs?
Yes.
Got some prawn eggs here. I've never seen this. That's the egg sac. It's like a big egg white, and it's camouflaged with the silt that's in the mangroves here. And inside it, tiny, tiny little prawns.
More than 1 lakh.
There's more than 100,000 prawns in there, apparently. So these are the small prawns.
Yes.
Can you take me to catch the big prawns?
Now?
Well, I don't know. When's the best time to go fishing?
Night.
Night time.
Yes.
Prawning, I'm told, is best done on still and quiet nights. Oh well. The idea of prawning. You take a bright light and you face it to the water and the prawns become stunned, like moths, I guess. There's a prawn. Ah, very sneaky. Use the net and then your foot. That's like a tiger prawn.
Yes, like a tiger, but shining is very good.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Very tasty.
Yeah, very tasty. Okay, let's catch some more. Okay, the weather did make prawning hard work. We were out there for hours, but it was an adventure. Today I'm cooking grilled lagoon prawns with lady's finger sambal and pangrattata. Now, pangrattata is an Italian garlicky breadcrumb. First thing you have to do is add lots of butter. And the butter and olive oil together have to come to a froth. The froth is really important. If it's not frothing, it means that the butter and the oil aren't hot enough. And when you add everything else to it, it'll just absorb it. Now I've got some garlic, which is smashed and then chopped, and just stir it around. I'm going to just slice up a prawn as well so that it goes through it. Froth is still there, and now I've got a handful of fresh bread, and that will just now cook. While that's doing that, I'm going to also fry my okra. I'm going to add my prawns into that pangrattata now, the diced prawn, and some seasoning. Starting to smell pretty nice now. My lady's fingers are now ready, or okra is now ready. I'm just going to take them out and drain them. And the breadcrumbs are pretty much done. Now what I'm going to do is keep that oil and butter mixture with all the beautiful garlic flavours, and that's what I'm going to cook my prawns in. And I'm also going to use a herb called Asian pennywort or gotukola. It has a bit of a bitter taste, but it may be bitter, but it has a wonderful flavour to it. So just to make a julienne, which is my garnish, put 3 or 4 leaves together, roll them up, and slice them really thin. Now, the oil from the pangrattata. Seasoning, salt into the pan, and a little bit of pepper onto the prawns. Wait for the oil to start smoking, then place them in. Always either use tongs, but otherwise away from your body. To build this dish, salt, a little bit of lime juice, mix it around. You can feel that the okra is nice and soft now. And make sure that you've cut all the okra into the same length, otherwise it's going to look very strange with uneven bits of your raft sticking out all over the place. Now this sambal calls for tomatoes, beautiful ripe tomatoes. Place that onto my raft. I've cut the chilies, taken the seeds out of them, and just sprinkling them on top. So that it's not a massive heat, it's just a bit of a flavour. The moulded fish is ground up fine, but not too fine, so that you get the flavour of it. And then some onion, raw onion, which will add a really nice flavour to it. Now on top of that, my beautiful prawns sit proudly. 6 of them is a nice look. And then heat up my garnish, which are potatoes, carrots, and beetroot balls. Very easy to do. You can get one of those cutters at any kitchenware shop, and you just plunge it in and turn it around into the peeled vegetable. Stir them around. A little bit of lime will bring this together. It'll make it like a bit of a lemon butter sauce. Very merry dish, this one. Good sprinkle of my pangratata on top of that. And finish off with the Batticaloa. And there you have lagoon prawns with lady's finger sambal and pangratata.
Trincomalee has the 5th largest deep water harbour in the world. In fact, the British Navy were based here during World War II. But what's really interesting are these fishing boats. For some reason, they're all clustered together as a flotilla, and that's not the usual way to hunt fish.
All right, let's go. I've managed to bum a ride with this guy, gotten out of the motorboat because it scares the fish, and we're going to go right into the pack and see what's going on. The water's crystal clear. I can see the fish down there. There's thousands of them, and that's why everyone comes together. Not getting any bites though.
Our flotilla is sitting above a school of yakkers, or yellowtail. Catching these small fish is an important daily ritual.
Yes! Yes!
You see, yakkers are the best bait for catching tuna.
Yeah!
Okay, enough of the bait. Let's go to market and buy a big fat tuna.
Yeah, it's good fish. You like it? I saw this one coming off the beach, so... No, 17 kilos. That's good. I'll take it. Cheap. $80 for a whole fish. I like it. I'm doing deviled. Now, it can be deviled anything. Chicken, beef, vegetables. Today, it's tuna. Simple, loved by all Sri Lankans, and lovingly named bites. First thing I have to do is chop this tuna up. So just cube it into bite-sized pieces. I'm just going to put all them into a bowl because I want them to marinate. I'm adding some salt, pepper, chili flakes, just to make it really hot and devilish. And then instead of frying the curry leaves this time, I've been frying them all my life. I'm going to add them to the tuna, and it'll just add some flavour to it. A little squeeze of lime juice, and that's my marination process. Stir that around, get all the flavours into it. And now I'm going to swap. My oil's just started to smoke, which is a good sign. Throw a curry leaf in, should crackle and pop. I've got all these different textured vegetables here. So you have to cook them in order so that all of them are evenly cooked. Start with onions and garlic. Leek, which is plentiful here. I've got two types of chilies. Banana chilies, which are going to add a nice flavour, and also stinking hot chilies, which are going to give it the devil. So put the banana chilies in first. Everything in this dish has to be crunchy. And then the other chilies. Lastly, I'll add my tuna. And this just needs to be cooked through. Now, I'm sure here in Sri Lanka, it gets cooked a lot more than I'm going to cook it. They're going to have it my way. So my sweet and sour sauce is tomato sauce, some vinegar, and a little bit of water to thin it down. Finally, add tomatoes. So give it a good mix around. And I've learned here in Sri Lanka, always add a little bit more salt. And then serve it up. Just put some curry leaves on it, some more of the chopped chili, and make it look really nice. I'm going to take it down there and see what these guys think. I think they like it. And a glass of arrow goes perfectly with it. Thank you. Cheers. Cheers, everyone. Devilled fish, Sri Lankan style.